Welcome back to Granbury TV, everyone. It's time for another Sheriff's interview here today. How are you doing, Sheriff?
Doing good.
How has the week been for you? I know it's been kind of chilly.
Well, it's been kind of cool, but it's been busy. Yesterday we had the FEMA graded drill. So this last year we had lots of real-life adventures that we had to deal with and
Yes.
disasters. So we felt like we were pretty well prepared for everything. But FEMA never could come to the last drill because of that federal shutdown that they had. So they rescheduled and we had it yesterday. So I think everybody was happy. 10 o'clock this morning, then we've got a meeting with them to say here's how the overall thing went. So I feel good and confident that it went smooth. From our side of things, it did go smooth. They injected a few things into it that we handled without issues and problems. So went really, really well. And I think the judge was happy. I'm happy. Ray Wilson was happy. Everybody was happy with the way it went, and the FEMA people seemed to be very pleased with the way we handled things and acted like we'd had practice at that before. So unfortunately we have. So been working up to that, finishing up things today. The new EOC, they're supposed to be out there today to start paving. The equipment's heading over there right now, but it's been too cold.
Right.
It has to be above 40 degrees before they can put the asphalt down, the hot mix. So hopefully that'll get done today, between today and tomorrow. It's getting really, really close for us to move in. I guess they still have some electronics stuff to work on with phones and computer things, and they're making sure it's all done right. And by moving the whole county IT department into there, it's a big move. So they're getting everything transitioned over there. So maybe in a couple of weeks we'll be moved in, but
Awesome.
I don't want to rush anything to make sure they get it all done right. So.
Yeah, definitely. You want everything to be perfect. Would be, well, I know we've talked about it several times, and I'm going to say it again. I'm excited. I think the folks at home that watch the show on a regular basis are excited to see what the inside looks like after it's completely done. So I know we're all looking forward to it. So we're all excited for you guys.
Well, it's going to be a big benefit to the county, to the city. Fortunately, we haven't had any small city-type disasters that we've dealt with in there, but they've been county disasters. So we utilize our emergency operations center now way too often. But that's what it's there for, is to be able to come together, get things figured out, fixed up, and take care of the responders, whether it's fire, medical, law enforcement, to take care of them, to help them, to take care of the citizens. That's what it's all about. Many years ago when they built the nuclear power plant, that was kind of forced upon Hood County to, I know there was a lot of discussion in the past of they were actually going to build in Hood County, and a lot of people said, oh no, we don't want a nuclear power plant. We still got all the issues of the power plant, except we never got any of the big tax dollars that they had back in those days. So we're still dealing with, because we're an adjoining county to it, is so close to the corner of the county, that we're part of the emergency plans, and we've got to be ready, not just for them, but the main underlying plan of the whole deal is take care of the citizens. So that's where we're at, and that's why we're ready. We've always been ready. I was the emergency management coordinator for a lot of years under Judge Steen and Judge Rash, and now I'm the sheriff. So I want to make sure it's done right and we take care of everybody, and this new emergency operations center is really state-of-the-art, top of the line, and it's bigger, a lot more benefits to this, so we'll be able to serve the citizens for lots of years to come, to keep them safe and keep things organized. And it's always good if we can prevent any disasters and problems, but sometimes when it's an act of God, a flood, tornadoes, not much we can do other than respond to it. So
Definitely.
We're going to be better prepared.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I think everybody's looking forward to seeing what it looks like, and I know that we've heard you express many times how excited you guys are and how good it will be for you guys, and we all are very happy and excited for you. So So let's hear what you have that has gone on this week.
Well, this week on the 25th, we had a suspect that was arrested for continuous family violence. And it was proven up that, this guy is a very violent person. But on the 25th, around 4:30 a.m., Hood County Sheriff deputies arrested William Preston Hopper, 40 years old, on a warrant for continuous family violence assault, felony 3, and bond was set at $15,000. And it was over off of James Road where the incident occurred, this main incident occurred. Charges stemmed from Hopper allegedly assaulting his girlfriend, a 46-year-old female, during a disturbance on the 23rd of January and back on the 9th of October. New law makes it a felony if a defendant commits 2 or more family violence assaults in a 12-month period. So Hopper was currently in jail then that night, and he was released on bond the next morning. He had help from friends and family, and he got out. Well, I really didn't even know this side of him. I knew that he was a violent person that we needed to take care of. And but on the 28th at around 7:30, Hood County Sheriff's Office Narcotics Unit arrested William Preston Hopper, same guy, 40 years old, and Cheryl Ray Hasselbacker, 57 years old, during a drug investigation. Hopper was in possession of 28 grams of methamphetamine. Wow. And under 2 ounces of marijuana. And back from the assaults, then we had 2 retaliation warrants. So, because he had went back after people that he had assaulted in the past. So we got 2 warrants for that. So the retaliation charge stemmed from the making threats to witnesses involved in the family violence charge that he was released from just the other day. And then Hasselbacker was in possession of under a gram of meth and charged with possession of a controlled substance, state jail felony, and bond was $5,000. So she got out on hers after she made bond, but then Hopper was charged with manufacture, delivery of a controlled substance, felony 1, bond $50,000, 2 counts of retaliation, felony 3, bond $10,000 each, and possession of marijuana, class B misdemeanor, $1,000 bond. So he's still in jail, and
sounds like it.
I bet he's not going to be going anywhere.
Doesn't sound like it.
And this investigation is continuing and ongoing, and some things happened in relation to this case last night that I don't have all the details, but my narcotics guys in the last couple of days have taken a lot of methamphetamine off the streets of Hood County. Awesome. So,
great.
Close to a pound total.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That would have supplied a lot of people. So anyway, that's still unfolding at this time, and my guys work well into the wee hours of the morning, and so I don't even have all the information.
Awesome.
But they're working hard to keep everybody safe out there.
Awesome. Well, we always love to hear that that you guys are taking the drugs off the streets and keeping Hood County safe for all the residents. So.
And we had a woman that was charged with DWI with a child under 15. On the 25th at around 11:30 p.m., deputies conducted a traffic stop at the 2300 block of Lipan Highway. During the stop, Stacy Renee McIntyre, 35 years old, was found to be intoxicated and had her 3-year-old and 4-year-old child with her. McIntyre was also in possession of several muscle relaxer pills without a prescription. McIntyre was arrested and charged with DWI with a child under 15 years old, state jail felony, and bond was set at $5,000. And possession of a controlled substance, misdemeanor B, bond was set at $3,000. And she did bond out of jail though.
Well, sounds like it has been quite busy for you guys.
Yeah, there's always plenty going on, and I think the jail count was down actually a little bit today, but people come and people go, and then some stay.
They just love your hotels that much, don't they?
Well, I don't know. I've been told that we have some of the best food around in a lot of counties. A lot of the guys that are in my jail have been arrested many times before in other places. Fort Worth, Johnson County, Parker County, you name it. They make the rounds a lot of times. Everybody I've been told by people when they get bench warrant back from the penitentiaries or coming from another jail, and they always enjoy the food, they say. And I check from the commissioners too, because by law I've got to prepare a well-balanced meal for them, and so it's all planned out, and we've got one of my staff is actually in charge of all that as a cook, but then it's all done, prepared by inmate labor. But it costs a lot when you're feeding, as many people as we have in jail all the time. So they watch the TV shows and they think that I ought to be feeding them bread and water, but I can't do that. So got to do a little better for them than that. But still, we keep the meals, and it varies depending on when the bills hit. If it'll vary from $1.25 to up close to $1.80 for each meal. So that's pretty cheap. Not as cheap as bread and water, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, we gotta, by law, I gotta take care of them. So they've got a lot of rights and special things. And the other day I was walking, we were talking about how cold it is here lately, and walking through the lobby and saw this guy sitting out there, and so I inquired, was anybody helping him? And they said, yeah, he's about to get arrested. And so I asked what was up with that, what kind of a warrant, and they told me, and it wasn't anything real big, but he was homeless. He didn't have any place to go, so he knew he'd get, they say it, three hot meals, 3 hots and a cot in the jail. So it was too cold outside, so he wanted to come to jail, and he did. So we'll be taking care of him until he can make bond, and I guess he doesn't have any money, so nobody's going to bond him out, so he'll be there till it goes to court or his time is served or something. So, and I haven't followed up on that case anymore, but it happens, I guess, where they have a better life in jail. And that's unfortunate that they feel like that. I know, I read the paper, know people are advertising for jobs a lot, so there's work to be found if you want to work, but sometimes they don't. And then another part to that I check from the commissioners is we need to get more inmates out on road crews, working, picking up trash, doing things, but I can't force them to do that either. So, we can sometimes get a couple out there to help, and I've got an armed person that takes them around and to do whatever they need to do. But in my jail, there is a vast majority of the people are charged with felonies, and I'm not going to trust a felon to go out and do some things like that as a trustee. And state law also says that the only ones that I can allow to be a trustee are the ones classified as a minimal risk, a minimum status like that. And I actually don't have that many of those, so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So the people that are in jail really need to be in jail and are there, and the rest of them get in and out of the system pretty fast, with arrested, charged, bonded the next morning, and then they're out. And until their case goes to court. So.
Awesome. Well, you have been a wealth of information this morning. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap up here today?
I don't guess I have anything else. I hope you guys out there aren't sleeping and I didn't bore you too.
Oh, I don't think so. I personally love hearing things. I think the folks at home love all the information they can get about what's going on. It's not something that they get to hear about every day, so I think that it's a good thing.
Well, over the holidays, there were some people that came into town, and they were from back east, where things, a lot more people, busy, all that. And they were thinking that I was like Andy Griffith from Granbury RFD, and I had one deputy, and I had a drunk named Otis that lets himself in and out of jail whenever he gets drunk or something and sleeps it off. And it's not that case. It's the sheriff's office here we're close to the Metroplex. Unfortunately, there's a lot that goes on around here, and we stay really busy. My investigators have anywhere from like 30 to 70 cases on their desk all the time that they're working away on that, plus the new stuff that comes in all the time. I've got a dozen investigators working on things. I try to keep 7 deputies on the street at night and 6 during the day, because during the day then we have more people available, like myself and chief deputy and captains and other lieutenants that can go out and help if something big happens right then and there. But I've got 135 employees, so it's not a small operation. I've got 50 deputies, licensed, sworn-in officers. So it's not a small operation. It's a big operation. So.
Awesome. We love hearing everything. I'm serious. We love hearing everything about what's going on at the sheriff's office and hearing kind of the inside scoop. I think that most people don't get to hear things like this all the time unless they've been part of maybe the CPAA classes or anything like that, which are coming up again, by the way, which is going to be cool for the next class. They get to do all of that fun stuff. It's lots of fun. Personally being through it, it was awesome. You get to learn lots of cool things that the public doesn't know. And this show allows the public to learn some different things from yourself. And I think it's a great show, and I think people love it. So.
Yeah, the different things that go on around Hood County with that Citizen Police Academy, it teaches people what's really going on behind the scenes. And after you're done with the program, then if you want to stay involved, then that's possible to stay involved. And we have the CERT program, trying to get it going. Volunteer fire departments, I talked to a guy, I guess it was the day before yesterday, and he was just totally amazed. Well, it was one of the FEMA guys, that he's from Pennsylvania. And I thought they had volunteer firemen back there too, but he was totally amazed that a city the size of Granbury would have volunteer firemen. And I said, well, you know, I was a volunteer fireman for years, and the people that volunteer as firemen, they take pride in what they do. They excel at what they do. They enjoy what they do, so that's why they excel at it. So they learn all they can about firefighting. They learn all they can about being an EMT. There's a lot of EMTs and even paramedics out there that are volunteer, just do it because they want to do it, because they're all want to help their community. So if you want to get involved in your community, there are so many different things out there, opportunities with emergency services, with the fire, the EMS. There are just a lot of different things to do that, the CERT program, the Citizen Police Academy, and then if you can't get involved like that, there are just so many different things going on with different organizations, with Mission Granbury and Ruth's Place and the Senior Center, and just so many things out there for people to do. So don't just sit at home. Get involved in this county.
Definitely.
Lots to do.
I agree. Always lots to do in Granbury. There's always something going on. Well, Sheriff, we thank you so much for your time. Learned lots of new things today. And again, we look forward to seeing the new EOC and what it looks like in its completion. And we hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm sure the community will enjoy it just as much. And have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
You too. See you then. Thanks for having me.